Oh, StreamYard.
Technology.
Technology. Hi everyone. What you did not see behind the scenes there is StreamYard has added a feature where instead of me manually pressing the intro video and then like desperately like clicking on the go live to get everything like lined up at the same time, it does it for you.
I love it.
So it is very possible that this could be our most successful episode for getting the outro done. Well, what I'm going to try to do at the end of this is I'm going to click end broadcast and see if it plays the outro for you. Well, if it
Fingers
doesn't,
crossed.
I apologize. Anyways, hello everyone. Hope that you're having an absolutely fabulous day. We sort of had a guest lined up and it kind of dropped through. So we're going to go over some stuff in the community and everything like that. We've got some interesting things happening in the month of October. It is the second scariest month of the year.
Second?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the scariest month of the year for you?
It's December. Not only is it like fiscal year end for so many companies that want to get like their RFP out, but also this scary person supposedly comes down your chimney and drops off things for your household and judges you.
Sanctioned reverse burglary.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's clear.
So really walking around with ghouls and ghosts and like getting a little bit of candy in a bag, or as in my case, almost every year a pillowcase, um, is no big thing. Anyways, hope that you're having an absolutely fabulous Thursday. Let us know in the comments what your scariest month of the year is for government contractors. Is it August? Is it September? Like you let it. When is fiscal year end for the government? Who knows? My name is Ben Klein. I'm the owner of Geek Proposals and the Chief Recipe Officer at Pi. And then today joining me, of course, is the absolutely fabulous Rachelle Ray, owner of RMR Consulting, podcaster for Burnout Banter, and the Chief Baker's Officer at Pi. And today we're going to do some housekeeping items. It's going to be fun. So I think honestly we teased out last time in the last episode, like with Beth on the line, that we're stealing Beth's idea. So that is launched.
We stole Beth's idea, and it is taking off, y'all. For those of you who don't know, if you weren't tuned in, we are running the Pie Proposal Horror Story Challenge. So basically, we want you to submit your spookiest, scariest, goosebumpiest inducing proposal stories, whether that's a right down to the wire deadline, missing Oxford comma, the dreaded cold RFP, the ghosts me. We don't know. You tell us. The submissions so far have been amazing. We've also got a few on our LinkedIn. Just a reminder that people who are posting in the comments on LinkedIn, those are not official entries. They have to be here in the community. But they're so good. They're so good.
Okay. So then we need to message those people to repost. So
we have been.
Yeah.
We've been letting them.
We'll get Lindsay on that to do it. So because I haven't even seen the LinkedIn ones. I've only seen the ones here.
I saw them this morning. There's a ton of them.
Oh no!
And I guess there was an issue with the link, like people weren't logged into the community, so they just started posting them in the LinkedIn, and I was like, "Oh, these are so good."
Oh no! Okay. We'll get on that. The humorous part is for the ones that are here in the proposal community, both of them made them poems.
Yes.
And I was like, we just wanted a story, but we're so excited.
Proposal professionals are overachievers. I don't know what else we would have expected.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this? Iambic pentameter? Like this brings me back to my grade 10 English class.
Also, some of the vocabulary, I gave like plus 1,000 points, which, everything's made up and the points don't matter, to Picayune? I don't even know how to say that word.
Yeah. Oh, right. I saw that. Yeah. That was a very clever use of word.
Exceptional use. I learned a word. Thank you.
Thank you. Anytime you can teach Rachelle something, that's a big moment. That's a big.
You're
moment.
my new best friend. Yeah. There's a lot to me, so
we're keeping these open until the 27th, 25th?
25th.
25th. Okay, so we're keeping it open until the 25th, and we are not judging. We've got Beth and possibly a panel of other judges who are going to do this, and we will be giving. Sorry.
Sorry, there's a community favorite,
Yep.
so your fellow peers, and then yes, Beth, and possibly a committee, but
Okay.
mostly Beth.
Perfect. Mostly Beth. Mostly Beth. So listen, we have $200 worth of prizes, and it will come as a gift that is delivered to your door. You will get to select some of it. So yeah, from our friends at Sugar Wish. So go forth and take advantage of this. Get out there and get it done. All right. So that's that one. And then, are we ready to announce our November challenge? Or
Absolutely.
he says he says like I haven't addressed the agenda with you.
Question mark. I was like, we talked about this.
Yeah.
It's not so much a challenge, it's more of a community event. But every year, I alone, solo, me and my whiteboard work on National Novel Writing Month, which, for those of you who don't know, is a challenge to writers to clock 50,000 words from November 1st to November 30th. We are hosting a little Pi community writers group for those of you who want to write with me, with Ben. And it's super informal. It's super relaxed. We're just gonna enjoy writing together and writing outside of the business confines. Get to be a little creative and fun, and we'll have write-ins and prompts and tips and tricks and all kinds of cool stuff. It's all set up. It's all ready to go. I'm very excited to write with y'all.
Yeah. So and bear with me because I am always wrong about the etiquette. I have a story idea in mind, but do I have to generate the story idea on November 1st? Like,
No, you can
yeah.
do a ton of I'm gonna cheat because I have a story that I started working on last month and have kind of dropped. So I'm gonna be starting at 9,000 words. And so my
Yeah.
goal will be to do 50,000 on top of that. But I'm coming in with an already started story. I've already built my characters, the setting, plot is all mapped out. There's a whole I debated how much I wanted to do pre-event
Yeah.
to get people to like get started.
Yeah.
And we will have like one pre-event post where you can kind of start thinking about, setting up your writing space and who your characters are and what your plan is. But the whole point is come with whatever project you have. If you're started, if you have an idea, if you want to start fleshing it out now, we're here
Okay.
to support you wherever you are on your writing journey.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So you were also writing fiction then. Uh,
Yes.
and
Rochelle is writing a gothic horror novel, so
is this going along with, so if you follow Rochelle on LinkedIn, you may not know, but last year Rochelle threw a Halloween party. And it was like a murder mystery, and it was just supposedly phenomenal. I was not invited. It's cool. It's cool. New Mexico's a ways to go for a single night, but
I mean, if you want to make it out this year, we're doing it again.
oh
Apparently, I don't know how to throw a normal party, so we
yeah,
throw
yeah.
super for Halloween parties. But
But
yeah, it was a social deduction game. Everyone was a little ghosty, and Lady Holloway and Henry were the main characters, and everyone kept asking me at the party like a little bit more about the main characters, and I didn't have them fleshed out enough yet. So yeah, my gothic horror novel is the novel that goes with the party game that I have packaged and am now selling for anybody who wants to host the same party that I have. I've built a whole little world around this thing because I'm insane, and why not?
no, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. I don't know if I could write horror necessarily, um, because I, I
It's hard.
like, yeah. So the idea is, I understand. Hey, I need to have dramatic tension. I need to have like suspension. Like I need to be able to draw out that stuff. But it's so uncomfortable for me to like read that like just writing it would be like, oh, I'm gonna like instantly satisfy the reader and like not create that moment of like pulling it out.
In true nerdiness fashion, I built a GPT writing assistant for me for this, and so
Yeah,
I will feed it snippets and be like, "Is the pacing in this okay?" Or "What are your recommendations?" So I like created an editor
yeah.
for myself to be like, "No, you've gone too fast in this scene," or "If your goal is this, then you need to add this," or "No, it's perfect, but consider." It's amazing.
Okay, okay. And this
Yeah.
is this is probably a good moment for us to pivot to why we're doing this for a community of people who respond in proposals.
One, because y'all are super creative, as we're seeing in our proposal horror stories. Two, I recognize that a lot of people are coming into burnout season, and one of the best things that you can do when you're coming into burnout season is make time for you. So for those of you who are creative writers or just want to like set aside some time for you, this is a good way to just have some kind of structure. But I feel like creative writing and proposal writing really dovetail nicely. So this is a way to build skills. It's a way to set aside time for yourself, and it's just a way to hang out with some other nerdy writing peeps and
Yeah.
just jam. I've never hit 50,000 words ever in the
Really?
years that I've been doing this. The most I got was 29,000 last year.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
we're
So
just getting
I used to be involved with for $5 a month, there is a website called 750 Words a Day. Um, right? And
okay.
like the idea behind it, it's sometimes it's also called like 3 pages or 5 pages or something like that. Like it was this idea of like from old writing circles, this idea like, hey, if you want to get started writing, like just blah, whatever you have in your mind at the beginning or end of the day, like just to get it out. And then you like, the act of writing has started, you will just naturally continue and stuff like that. And I think in my biggest month there, I actually did complete my 50,000. But of course, it was like not connected. It was just the random thoughts on my mind over 30 days. Um,
That's fine. That can be your goal.
yeah.
There's no structure. Like we're not official because you can't be official NaNoWriMo. It's trademarked now. But
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want. Everything's made up and the points don't matter. We're just here to support you in your writing journey and your creative journey. If you want to write like a business book on proposals, go for it. But cool. And just have fun with us.
Yeah, yeah, we are definitely not as formal as the actual nano. I can never say this word.
NaNoWriMo.
Nano.
It sounds so silly.
It does. It does. We are never as formal as this group. Uh, so you can write whatever, and so like come out, have some fun, and just again, from my point of view, I think when we start in proposals, like when we're junior, because there's no education, it's all about the document. It's like compliance to the document. Like they asked for a signature in blue ink. Like that's what we got to give them, right? And it's like they said they wanted this to be this, and you're like, but later on when you kind of spend more time with proposals, you realize that like someone is actually reading this on the other end, regardless of how they're actually asking for information to be delivered. Like someone's reading this and you have to think about like how are they going to receive this, how are they going to consume this. And if you can't tell a compelling story, then you're not going to be remembered. There are so many times that like I ask procurement officers like, what did you remember about our story? And it will be like some sort of paragraph or something that I personalized, rather than like anything itself inside the bid, right? Like that'll be what captures their attention. And so this is a chance for you to kind of test your creative thing. So I actually have a whole series of short stories that I've never published around time travel because I hate how time travel is portrayed in the media. Um, because like
Excellent.
they don't deal with paradox well or they deal with it way too well, uh, and then they make a nightmare out of it. So I have a whole series of ones. So I'm going to take the one called The Pill and I'm going to turn that into a novel. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh,
uh,
I'm so excited.
yeah. So I am also starting with 1,000 words. So
Hey, it's not cheating. It's totally fine.
yeah, yeah. Oh, so thank you, Stephen. So Stephen says, keep talking, Ben. This is so true. I always try to put myself in their shoes and think about how they have to read through all the submittals. So how can I make it easier for them? Right? Good. Yeah, and honestly, so I was on a pre-bid conference call yesterday. So maybe I should probably like coach this a little bit so I don't reveal the client or the the customer. And honestly, I can count on two hands of the like 3,000 bids I've been involved in, and of which probably 10% had a pre-bid conference. I can count on like two hands the number of pre-bid conferences I felt have been really useful, because they're often not. And this one was actually really well structured and it was really well designed and we got a lot of information out of it. But then I asked at the end of it because I was like, hey, like you've given us a lot of information in this bid, but a very small response area. Like, how do you want us to identify that we've understood like all of your pain and structure. And I have to admit, the procurement officer's comment was not helpful. It was like do what you can, but if you like send it to us in any format, but just be aware that if you haven't addressed the concerns that we're worried about, we won't shortlist you. And I'm like, that is so not helpful. But now I have to be creative in how I respond to their bid. And there's a lot more pressure on me to like think like how am I going to coalesce like some 3,000 requirements into what will be a narrative document instead of just doing a some crazy point to point response. Anyways, fun. But yeah, like this is why I'm looking forward to this because it's stuff like this that helps develop that flow.
Yeah. New
Yeah.
connections, new brain pathways, new
Plus,
ideas. Maybe you'll see somebody else doing something in their project and you'll be like, "Oh, I could totally do something similar."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair, fair. And yeah, like I don't envy the people who are going to receive these bids sometimes. So if we could do something to make it like even put a little smile on their face in the cover letter or in the exec summary or something, like just give them a little happiness, even if it's in the email that you send to them. Like
Right. Just
just
a little bit
something,
of endearment.
yeah, to capture their attention even for a moment is probably worth its weight in gold. So there you go. So that is our writing contest, and that starts November 1st. Is that right?
Yes, early access will open October 25th for those of you who want to start plotting, ideating, prepping beforehand.
Yeah.
The official challenge starts on November 1st.
Okay, and they find the link in the community, or like we'll post it in the community.
It will be posted in the community next week. I didn't want to step on the toes of the horror story,
Yeah,
so it'll be later next week, but it's
perfect,
a coming.
perfect. All right, good, good, good times. All right. So with that in mind, then, and I have to admit, I kind of want to like run on a tangent a tiny bit, which is
Yeah,
your
sure, go
comment that you
ahead.
just made that
Oh, no.
you created an AI, like you created an open AI chatbot, right? Like a ChatGPT chatbot to assist
Yes.
you with writing. Do you
Yes.
have one for your proposal writing as well?
I have a cover letter GPT that I created because I
Yeah.
have a very specific way that I write my cover letters. I have experimented with like a public RFP. I did a little GPT. I uploaded all of the proposal documents again because they were public, so don't come at me. Um, and because I don't use any like closed loop software, I'm ChatGPT all the way right now.
Yep.
Okay, don't come at me. It's just what I know. But yeah, I gave it all the documents. I gave it all of my notes from my technical staff, and then I kind of walked through it like one by one. I was like, all right, here's my response to this question. Can you help me out? Is this responsive? And it was helpful. I don't think I needed a GPT for that. I can just do a conversation with it. But
Right.
for very specific things, I will build a little assistant.
Interesting. So I wonder, like, and you're saying that like you wrote a writing GPT to help you with this project, right?
Yeah.
And asking about like the cadence and stuff like that. So where did you provide the information to train that editor? Like, is that
Maybe we should do like an event on how to build a GPT. If that would be interesting to anybody, let us know.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm getting a little bit better at doing this and tweaking it. And by doing it with fun projects, I'm learning more about how to do it with business stuff.
yeah.
You can upload document like attachments to a GPT. So I gave it instructions on like, and I can post all of this in the community so you can see exactly like what the instructions were.
Sure.
Um, but I gave it instructions. I was like, I want you to be a writing assistant. You are not to do any of the actual writing because I want to be the original author of this thing.
Yeah.
Um, but here's the things I want you to do. Like, I want you to look at flow and grammar. And, if I have questions about, like, would there be electric lamps set in this time period? You should answer things like that. And then in my upload documents, I have like a character sheet. So it knows who all of my characters are. I have a plot outline. So it knows my whole plot. And then I have a setting and then it can pull from those three documents to flavor so it knows exactly like what is going on. And so if I write something and I'm like, would this character do that? They can refer to the character sheet
Oh,
and
yeah,
say,
I do want to
from
do
here.
this. I do want to
Yeah.
do this with you because I think that I could design the same. Because there are some customers, like I am bidding a utility in Michigan right now, and it is my third time bidding them. I'm getting very used to their procurement cadence and everything like that. And I have enough information that I think I could build like a good understanding of like their steering committee and stuff like that. And I could probably like flavor everyone's content. Yeah, I want to do this session with you. Because
Excellent.
like I built a GPT. So my wife was out of work for a little while by request. But she wanted me to be writing her cover letters, right? And so what I did is I downloaded all of her text chats and her emails and any public business website responses that she made and stuff like that. And I threw that in so that it would get her tone and her cadence and stuff like that. And then I would upload like the position that she's applying for and then her resume and ask it to like, write cover letter pieces and stuff like that. In kind of her voice and her language and everything like that. It was actually wildly successful. Uh,
I love it.
yeah.
Excellent.
So much so that she had a job. But at the same time, I was asking it to do the writing. Whereas I'm curious, like I would like the idea of like having an editor kind of like give me some insight into like what will be memorable to my reader. And just like making sure that I'm not making like really common. Oh, actually, yeah, like honestly, it probably could have caught. So I had an issue with a bid in the UK recently where I wrote a sentence. And I was writing it like, and it made sense in my mind. Like I wrote it and I reread it and I reread it. And the idea behind it is I was trying to indicate that even though we don't have this one thing, they should still be confident in us because of the length of time that we've not had a bad incident occur, right?
Right.
And I had tied two pieces of disparate information about the founding of the company and the length of time, i.e., the company had never had a bad incident, was kind of the thing. But like the reading of it, you could technically have like misread it and thought, oh, like at the time of the company's founding, you had a bad thing happen.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. And so it actually got escalated to like various legal departments. And honestly, like we reviewed it. Obviously, the salesperson reviewed it, but they didn't catch it either because they're not like a writer. And so it would have been nice to like have like someone run through all that stuff with the GPT, and just like, hey, this could be misleading, like, or
And I think that's absolutely doable if you're
yeah,
training it as like an editor assistant and not a writer. And I think we so often look at it as a writer. This was an interesting new exercise for me to do it as editor, and it's really good at it. It does
okay,
try to write for me sometimes, but we're
all right,
working on it.
sure. Is this something you think you can throw together for next week or the week after?
Absolutely.
All right,
Let's do it.
let's
Let's
do
do it.
it. So there you go. We're gonna train y'all on GPT creation a la Rochelle.
Let's do it. The
Let's
tech troglodyte, the tech gremlin is going to teach you all about GPT. I just want to point out the irony there. I got you
yeah.
all covered.
I know. I know. There's a little bit of delight in this moment that I'm not gonna lie. All right. We have two quick pieces at the end of this. So one, there's gonna be a Tales from the Pitch. Rochelle, I'll let you decide whether it's gonna be you or me. I have one ready. I'm not sure you do, but
I
you let me
don't. I didn't know I was up, so it's on you, man.
Okay, good, good. But we did have a post in the community that I want people to check out. And this is from a friend of the pod, Javier Escartin, who is the founder of Deep RFP. And I know we mentioned him a couple times. And he makes this comment about like what will bidding and proposals look like in 10 years. And there are some responses in it. And obviously this is kind of part of his newsletter series, but it does raise some interesting thoughts around like what does our profession look like, right? Like the AI kind of hype train was up, and now it's sort of kind of resuming a normal level. Gartner recently published that like over 40% of AI projects will be abandoned in 2024, with an additional similar number abandoned in 2025. There are still companies like rushing to kind of figure out what AI is going to look like and everything like that. But the news appears to be like, yes, it's going to impact the industry, maybe not to like the tractor devastation that we were expecting, i.e., like displacement of a large series of writers and everything like that. There's still like errors in code. There's still errors in writing. There's still misunderstanding. Like, anyway. So there's a lot of stuff here. So he has this post. I suggest interacting with it, but it does kind of come up to the thing. Like one of the things that we were trying to do with the hackathon, and heads up, we are getting very close to like being ready to like release something there. One of the things we were trying to do with the hackathon is think about like what the future looks like and get ahead of it and kind of help the community get some training in it. And we do have a member on our Baker's Dozen who is interested in maybe looking at like some of these future sets. So I would put it out there. Anyone listening to the podcast today or anyone who is on the live, if you are interested in like kind of helping think through what the future proposals looks like, maybe reply inside this post or like make it known to Rachelle and myself, because I think we are probably going to facilitate like getting a group together of individuals who are like thinking about the future, and maybe see if there's something valuable that we can like bring back to the community that will help y'all kind of get ahead of what's happening in the future. So, and
I love
obviously,
the idea of a
yeah, and
visionary think tank and proposals.
yeah, exactly. And for you, Rochelle, and AEC, like, basically we'll be doing yours for like the distant future, right? Like 75.
I love this because y'all can figure out what's gonna happen to you in the next, like, 2 years, and then I'll be like, "Okay, so in 10, I can expect this."
Poor
Because
AEC.
AEC is so slow.
We're so mean. We're so mean to AEC on this cast. Like, we gotta be nicer to them. They are a big employer.
I mean, I am AEC. I feel like I have a leg to stand on with saying, "You're so far behind."
Fair. All right. So tales from the pitch today. Um so once again, it's a printed bid. Because aren't they all? So I'm in Canada, which means that I do most of my printing here in Canada, either at a shop. I have a company called Blue Infographics. I love them. They like do all my printing and stuff like that if I can, if the customer can afford it. If the customer can't, I do whatever, right? And do the best that I can. So, anyways, we had a situation where we were done early, and we sat there with the salesperson, and we're like, "Is there something more that we can add? Like, is there something more that we can do here that's going to improve the quality of our bid? Like, is there something like super interesting or disruptive or fabulous?" And like we pondered it for a day or two, and then he's like, "No, you know what? I'm done with this bid. Let's just send it off." So I printed and I shipped, and 99% of documents that cross the US Canadian border just fly through. Like there's no big deal.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
On this one, we'd used FedEx. FedEx reported like this error code, and it was like package in customs, right? And we're like, okay, no problem, kind of thing. And FedEx kind of reported back to us, and they say, hey, typically it takes like a day to clear customs, and then like the document will go on. Someone's going to open up the box, make sure that it is actual commercial documents that you're sending, that the net value of it is $10 or less, etc. Kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and just confirm. So we're like, okay. And so we're like, sure, a day. We're ahead of schedule. Like I always give 3 days of shipping to the United States. Like it'll be fine. And so then on day two, it hadn't been released yet. And day three, it hadn't been released yet. And I'm like, okay, now we're into danger territory. And so the salesperson's like, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, we're gonna reprint. We're gonna send another box, right? Like, and hope this one clears customs because again, 99% of packages clear customs every single time. And we were a little bit more rushed this time. And we notified the customer. We're like, hey, just a heads up, our bid got held up in customs. We know that you can't hold the deadline for us, but we are prepping you to understand that you're going to receive a box, and then after deadline, you're going to receive another box, right? Like, just a heads
Excellent.
up. We want to be nice to you. So, anyways, we ship it, and sure enough, clears customs, fine, right?
Of course.
Of course. Now,
But
I was rushed on the second one, and I forgot a mandatory requirement. Or no, sorry, not that I forgot a mandatory requirement. There was a requirement of sticking a USB in the front cover of one of the binder that was marked original, right? You remember how you marked one original and multiple secondary copies. And so I put the USB in there, and I hadn't uploaded the files into the USB. It was a blank USB.
oh, no.
Both boxes arrived before deadline, and the procurement officer made a decision. We're only opening one box.
Did they open the right box? Oh no! No! Is that how you found out that the thumb
Yeah,
drive?
100%. They're like, "Hey, where are all these files you're talking about?" And I'm like, "Not there, clearly." Anyways, so we had to file I can never pronounce this word, but like it's recidification? Anyways, it's basically like this document that basically says, "Mea culpa, we did our best. It's there with you. Please open the other box."
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, there's my tales for the pitch for today. All right. We are over. It's 1 minute past the hour, or half hour. Hope y'all are having a great day. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Hope you're not going into the weekend with a lot of super busy bids. Please, if you have made a horror entry on LinkedIn, go into the community and make it. If you haven't, go read the horror entries, and get your excitement over. Start voting on them. Make a community favorite. That person will be getting $100 worth of stuff. All right. And yeah, y'all be safe out there. Anything else, Rochelle?
Nothing from me. Take
All
care,
right.
y'all.
Take care, all. And now we're going to try to play the outro. Oh, so exciting.